Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Jane Mackenzie Live Miracle Medicine on a Thursday, where this whole year and previous years we have a look at the pioneering leading-edge medical breakthroughs that we achieve at 365 Healthy by Choice Center in Bryanston, which is a global virtual 24/7 link-up. One of the first of its kind. I'm very happy to say that I'm the pioneer in this, looking at specifically holistic quantum well-being, and having documented all of this information into my thesis for the doctorate. And I've been able to share these absolutely wonderful, amazing health recoveries, not only physical, but also and importantly emotionally, and then of course spiritually. So I've had so many discussions with so many people this year, and we really do need to celebrate these wonderful, wonderful achievements that you all have made. So I'm going to have an event next Friday, the 29th of November, at the center in Bryanston. You all are welcome to come in person, or I'm going to give you a webinar link that you can come in on. I'm going to be reading out and sharing. I'm on a no-name basis, unless somebody actually wants to just stand up and share what they've done. And so the wall of fame, the wall of celebrations, if you like, and really just share with all of you and the world, what actually is possible, because I don't think people really believe that we can have the turnarounds that we do. And so I'm very proud to share this information, and I think it's time that we collected everything. So next Friday, the 29th, is the major celebration. And next Thursday, I will be giving you some sneak previews of some of the amazing turnarounds that we've had, and to say to you all that it's lasting. The shift has happened and it's lasting. So that's the most important thing, because you don't want to, progress and then regress, progress and then regress. And the healing is up to the individual. I can be the facilitator, you are the healer. And, I pride myself in bringing tools to the world where people can heal. And as I've said before, the Healing Sanctuary at the 365 Healthy by Choice Center in Bryanston is one of a kind, where people can come there and, to use a word, unpack their emotions and understand, where this is all coming from, understand their dis-ease. And it's not only physical. In fact, in most instances, it is represented in the physical, but the root cause remains in the emotional state. So this year's been, and last year really, the last 2 years have been, amazing years, in the sense that I achieved my diploma in quantum medicine through the Immune University, and my certificate in the holistic ancestral orientation, and my doctorate. So I've been very, very, very busy. And I really think that I do have the full complement now, together with the live blood analysis and the acupuncture and the awesome, I call it my toolkit, the 365 Healthy by Choice, natural range of herbs, superfoods, fermented products, alchemical products, paramagnetic products, and some of the other things like earthing mats and earthing pendants. I really think that I've got a solution for whatever I find, whatever you bring to the table, and what we see on the quantum devices and in the live blood analysis. It's always very important to follow my HIELO process, holistic, integrated, epigenetic life orientation, where we do the assessments, we do get to the root cause. We then look at and are able to remove the causes and make recommendations, adjustments to lifestyle, adjustments to stress, and then the release of the emotional handbrake, if you like, unresolved epigenetics, where the DNA is restored and you are free. So moving from stuckness to freedom. So that's really the HIELO process. And it includes the how, the holistic ancestral orientation, and then moving on also to the holistic business orientation. I'm going to share a few preview case studies on this today, just to give you some snippets and whet your appetite for next Friday. Next Friday, the 29th, is actually Black Friday. So we have going to be having some amazing specials at really rock bottom prices. And at the event, either in person or whether you've signed in and registered. So I will be posting the webinar link to register. So those people who've registered and that are there in person next Friday will avail themselves to even further discounts. For example, that reset box of mine with the 4 products, the cell oxygen, the DMSO, the probiotic, and the flaxseed oil, that will be at less 40%. So instead of 1,350, it will be 960. That's a giveaway price. And that is a reset that anybody can pick up and use regardless of the physical situation, and will lead then to the ability to heal in the emotional side. So that's, for example. Also, I'll be giving away 3 epic SCIO 1 and 1.5 hour assessments and treatments. So those people who are there and are online will be part of the lucky draw. And then the usual Black Friday specials of the day. So yes, I urge you all to come and join in and share in these wonderful testimonies and case studies. And really, I'm honored to have been able to have worked with everybody to achieve these wonderful miracles, I call them. And that's been really the format of the Thursday webinars. We want to celebrate, and I want to educate people to understand that they can help themselves. Physician, heal thyself. I'll give you the right nutrients, the right ability to detox, the right education, and then it is up to you. I can't pull you through. You got to do that work, and that's where the accomplishment comes in, the self-transformation, and the ultimate self-satisfaction that you've done it yourself. So, with that in mind, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the case studies and testimonies that we've been through. And as I've said, the HIELO process, which is really culminated in my doctorate, has it all. It's scientifically based, quantum physics based, where it's matching, measuring and validating holistic ancestral orientation and healing with quantum physics. So we've been able to do that, not completely, because as humans we don't know we can't measure experience, but experience there's often not words for. And I've talked about this a lot in my recent YouTube videos. So go to the Jane Mackenzie YouTube channel, like it, subscribe, comment, and you'll see every week virtually there's a posting, and if you are subscribed you will get it first. And my idea there is to educate. There must be over 300 educational videos there by now. Anyway, I just want to say that every client that comes is a walking case study, is a walking testimony. And I can think of the one lady that came, and she took a really long time to give me her whole life story, and it went on and on and on and on. Sometimes I let people indulge themselves a little bit and sort of talk to a point where I say to them, okay, fine, you're starting to repeat yourself. We do the assessment. I give them the reset box, for example, or even 2 of the products out of the reset box. This lady in particular I'm speaking about, and she came back in a month a different person. Her language was different. Her conversation was different. So much so that her psychologist was astounded. She could not believe what had happened in 1 month to this girl. And the psychologist came to me herself, and all she wanted was the reset kit. She wanted an assessment, and she wanted to be well. And I just really, just think that's absolutely amazing, because this is what we want. We actually want people healing, but we want the professional people coming. because they can then heal others. And I have other psychologists that work with me, people with doctors in psychology, GPs that have also studied psychology, or straight GPs as well, who come to me. And there's a GP psychologist who won't actually work with the client until they've gone on a month of the probiotic, the microbiome reset, and the oxygen caps or drops, because she just says, I need to remove what's not part of this person, because she knows that the parasites carry emotions and they can affect the person negatively. So she wants to, dissolve everything that's not part of the client. And when after a month, when the client comes back, she can see who they really are. So that's amazing as well. And, I will say that the medical profession, the health care profession are waking up to these kind of miracles and seeing the simplicity of it all. I always believe if something's complicated, it's not thought through yet. And my systems are absolutely simplified. And they work on a scientific basis, and then obviously creating harmony, inner happiness, inner joy, inner freedom. The HIELO process, to give you an example, emotional release. And this is where we assist people move from stuckness to freedom. And there was a wonderful, wonderful case. I might even have mentioned it to you before, where there was a lady comes in and she just sits down and she says, there's something wrong. I'm now on 2 medications, psychotropic medications. I'm stuck. I know I'm stuck. I've been stuck for 5 years. And she carries on. And then we unravel it all and we go back in the DNA to her parents, grandparents, and we uncover the stuckness, what actually happened. And when the generations occur, remember that the blood and the DNA touch, of course they do. And so does the epigenetic emotion come with the DNA. Imagine all of us, 2,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, we are carrying DNA and memories for lifetimes. And imagine, this is what we need to clear too. I always say, when you can walk on water, then you can put there that you haven't got any emotional clearing to do. And so we're all in the classroom. But sorry. I unplugged it and I have to plug it back in again. So we have to always be aware of this long, long, long history that we have of genetic evolution. And we right now creating the new evolution for ourselves anyway. But this is the most fascinating thing about the HIELO process, because we go back, we find where that war was, where that person was on their camel, in Persia, or that person in Scotland when something was invaded, or when they had to build a wall to stop the Romans, or whatever the case is. So it's absolutely fascinating when you start looking at, the history. And right now, as we live, we are creating history, we are creating emotions. Just think of this war right now, and the suffering, and the distortion, and the lack of freedom in people. And that is going to have repercussions for the human race forever. And remember, if you understand quantum physics, we are all particles in motion. We are all connected, entwined, entangled. Therefore, what's going on in maybe countries that are not our own, we're not immune to. We are totally connected to it. And it can be things like, wow, I never slept well last night because our consciousness is involved. Things like that. I don't feel well today. I've got a stomach ache today. It may well be just the influence of what's going on around the world. And the world is going through massive shifts and fast as we head towards a turning point of brand new consciousness. So at this point in time, we are shifting like crazy. And that's why I'm finding people coming to me wanting to use the HIELO process. The HIELO process is the business processes to shift quickly and quicker and to shed the old. So, You're very, very exciting. Some of the other things that I'm looking at, just yeah, that's right on. Some of the other testimonies I can share with you. Yes, and sorry, just to end off with the whole process is you've done the work, you know you've self-transformed. I don't have to tell you. I've seen it. I've just set the field up. You do the work. And most often there aren't words to explain. But the whole physique is different. The face looks different. The body's different. And people have shifted. They know they have. When we do the business orientation, and there's some good case studies here as well, remember that the business leader is the potential of the business. And if there are handbrakes and stuck areas of stuckness, that's going to then translate into the business progress. So we would always do a how process with the business leader or leaders. We would individually do it, and then we would find a common denominator. For example, self-worth or rejection. And if that's the emotion that's being carried in the business by the group of leaders, then you can imagine the result of the business. So people who want to Uberize their business, they need to clear the collective emotion and the individual. Then we have a look and we do all sorts of things, very interesting things. Like, for example, should we open up a store in A, B, C, D, or E areas? Should we even open up a store? Should we use this kind of device or that kind of device? I'm thinking of a girl who wanted to expand her health practice. And there were various equipment pieces, like, for example, it was a beautician thing and the mask and the air and the steaming. And so we put all the devices out, and one by one we went through them, and we made concentric circles in terms of importance. Which one became more important? Which one was first? And then, which ones we could do least. And then also staffing was included. And afterwards we could unravel it and put prices to it. But the point is that spot on in the quantum field, we received information directly, what to do first, second, and third. That kind of directive, that kind of consciousness, the decision doesn't happen using the conscious brain. It will happen in the subconscious. And I've spoken a lot about this. You can go and have a look at my previous YouTubes. So that works for individuals and for businesses. And we are having an amazing result. And people's feedback, Jane, I did this, I did that. Oh, another one, investments. People not sure where to invest. Give me the list. And let's go through it and prioritize it, or throw it out, or bring something new in. Ask for wisdom from the field. So we're having enormous results there. And as we, remove the physical manifestation of a blockage, there's improvement emotionally and with the business. And this can be picked up also and shown in the live blood analysis, where we look at the red blood cells, the white blood cells, the platelets, and the plasma, and we see clarity coming through. So the live blood pictures are kept. Initially very messy, dirty, parasites, toxins, all the rest of it. And as we move on, yes, with a reset kit, yes, with oxygen, yes, with probiotics and oils, yes, with nutritional changes, yes, with emotional releases, we start getting this beautiful blood flowing through with its own flow, its own energy. The cells not stuck together. They have the zeta potential. So we can see the effect of physical detoxification and emotional detoxification and restoration of the whole body. So as we reset, rejuvenate, restore, and rejoice, we're going through those four main processes of mine, and it's on a continual basis. So the HIELO process is continual, and people will go and come and have a whole process, get a resolution, feel the peace, the universal love, and go away, and the next area of dis-ease arrives, because that's what's going to happen. So we never reach the end destination regarding health and well-being. We are it's a journey. just to say. So the liver can be fine this year, but next year it's not fine because those DNA, that epigenetics is up. That grandfather who had the liver problem comes in. So anyway, the live blood analysis is a fantastic visual of your health. And people love it because they can see the before and after. Not only feel it, but they can see it. My quantum machines will measure it, but they don't always understand the abstract. Your blood is much thinner now. What does that mean? How does it look? And then I show them with the live blood analysis. So there are these hundreds of case studies on that, where we've got the flow of the blood. People are astounded. They can't believe it. But the most important thing is to focus your attention on your health, see it, and then improve, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month for sure, especially those with degeneration disorders, diseases. It's fantastic for that because you can see the disbursement of the degeneration. Improvement of the gallbladder, improvement of the bones, the hormones, the digestion, and removal of toxins. So I always believe, some people are the thing, you have to see it to believe it. So we can do that. And we can also feel that we're better. So we're doing both, both the objective and the subjective assessments. So that's very good. Those are enormous. There's thousands of those case studies, every single one. I always say to clients, all you have to do is do the work. Just put your head down and do it. Don't get logical about it. Stop thinking if, when, but. Because those are handbrakes, and that's your pattern, and you're just repeating it. So drop it, and then we see massive results. With acupuncture, it's mainly addictions, and that works also in the quantum field. And you just get drenched in endorphins. The parasympathetic nervous system comes to the fore because the sympathetic nervous system surrenders. When that happens, emotional healing occurs and physical healing. And it's also nonverbal. So here we can get the reason for the smoking out. Or the reason for the drug addiction gets released. And as I said, it's nonverbal, so it's not always known. We'll offer a follow-up for the smoking if necessary, but not necessary. You normally only need one. And we've got case studies of this. Personally, I love acupuncture. We also got a little gold magnet that we put in the ear for it that lasts about a week, also keeps the portals open and keeps the healing going on. So acupuncture is really, really good to move from stuck to freedom. And then, of course, our magnificent Maximiser oxygen drips. I mean, whether you're healthy or sitting with degeneration, it's a miracle because it happens so quickly. I've talked to you before about the lady. We carried her in. Her blood pressure was extremely low. I don't even want to say on air how low it was because the decision for me was the ambulance or try heal her. And I asked her, what do you want to do? And she said, I want the drip. I said, that's fine. This is, what you want. Sign here. This is what you want. We'll do it for you. And just brought in trust. And, after 3 hours, it took a little bit longer because she was so weak. She was able to walk out. And the blood pressure went right up. Not normal, but just a little bit low. So this Oxygen Maximiser drip has led to me opening up another 12 seats for these drips for going forward. Remember, I started these drips when COVID hit because I saw the plight of the people in hospitals and I saw what was happening and I knew what was happening because they were measuring blood oxygen, not cell oxygen. And the minute they took the ventilator off, the person struggled because you can't force oxygen into a cell. It has to take it up. And with our oxygen drips, that's exactly what happens. The cells take it up. And I can measure it with my SCIO Quantum devices. I can measure that oxygen uptake. I can measure the vitality of the cell membrane, moving from 1 out of 10 to 7, 8, 9 out of 10, meaning the food, the oxygen coming into the cell and the waste leaving the cells. So I've got all the devices, all the things we need, all in front of us. We just plug and play, press the buttons, and you do the work. So that oxygen drip is remarkable. That is the miracle of miracles. And even if you're not well, you feel amazing. And I get testimonies every day. Jane, I feel so energetic. I'm booking next week again for me and my husband. That's testimony to me. These are case studies. And those people where we do the live blood before and afterwards, you can't believe it. You cannot believe the shift in the blood in 2.5, 3 hours. It just steam cleans that oxygen drip. It is amazing. And it's, natural, completely natural. And you're working with a force that's working in front of you. The person's face is completely different. The life force is in them, the energy. And it's measurable on my machines as well. So, for example, the charge of the body lifts, the toxins leave, the oxygen in the cell increases, and I can measure all of that. So it's really, really an amazing, amazing drip, and I'm about the only one in Joburg, or definitely that I know of doing it, and one of the only in the country. So I'm glad to share that, and we now have other medical people, nurses that I've trained to do this as well. And that's really my aim, is to train as many people as possible to take this work. And to do that, I'm sharing the testimonies, and thanks to all of you who've come and trusted in yourselves and shifted. Yeah. So, we also armed with, an awesome toolkit, range of nutrients. And I call them all nutrients because they are. If you have a look at from a lymphatic point of view, we've got a lymph drainage herbal. And it would never be, where's that bottle for lymph drainage? We would always look holistically and make sure that the food is getting broken down properly, first of all, with the probiotic, properly absorbed with the good flaxseed oil, properly utilized in the cell, that the cell's got enough energy to use it, to make the ATP, and so on. So it's a whole chain of events, and to then eliminate the waste so it doesn't build up like lymph. So we have to start at the beginning always, but then we've got these beautiful personally designed nutrients that I've put together. The kidney, we've taken many people off renal dialysis. It's amazing. And they trust and they do it. And as we clear away the calcification, the bladder gravel, open up all the urethra, the tubes, and start letting the urine flow. And it's incredible, absolutely incredible. All you have to do is listen and do it. It's preferable not to come to me too late, because, there I can only work with the capacity of the body. And what do I mean by that? If the body doesn't have the energy anymore, or the magnetic spin of the body in degeneration is already turned around, we're dealing with very end stage here. And the body needs to be strong. So we will make the body as strong as we can, working with the body, assisting it, and then relieve the emotional blockages. I remember one lady was really, really far gone, and in fact, her breasts were totally septic. And anyway, we worked with her. I did the HIELO work with her, and she got in the car and she said to her brother, "You know what? I can go now, but I'm going to leave happily." And I think that's a huge achievement. So we must always remember, there's the body's capacity. You can't push it more than it's charged for. So we work together to raise the energy of the body. And, kidneys are one of those. You have to work carefully with that. You can't just push it. Similarly, so liver can be damaged from lots of things: diet, anger, alcohol, lots of abuse there. And also if there's bitterness, because the gallbladder blocks, and then the bile acid doesn't come down. And then the many case studies on high cholesterol, high triglycerides, HDL, LDL out of alignment, lots of neutral fat, lots of fat in the liver. And then when we get the bile acid flowing, honestly, hundreds of case studies, hundreds. The oil in the blood reduces, and we can check it with the live blood analysis and the quantum machines that I have, and the blood pressure comes down. So there again, an absolute miracle, that gallbladder flush. And then, of course, we'll come in with further decalcification. Our decalcification flush, the Chancapiedra, other herbs that we have as well to reduce calcification, and nutrition, of course. So lungs, lots and lots of case studies of people who've coughed for years, and suddenly within 3 days, they never coughed again. People with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease as well. We just bring in the oxygen. It's like a whole nother pair of lungs breathing. Oral or capsules, capsules or oral drops, or the IV oxygen, and we see big improvements there. And we're removing organisms that the hospitals are not removing. I know that, because an antifungal and antibiotic, they don't remove everything. There's things in the body that you need something else. You need oxygen to heal. Even skin, we've moved liver spots with our castor oil, our organic hexane-free castor oil, with our liver cleansers. A lady came and she had, I forget what it's called, but she had all these veins underneath her arm, and absolutely cleared that. She would send me the pictures every 2 weeks. We cleared her. So lots of things to do with the skin, but it's really often to do with the blood. So we clear the blood well, and that's very important. We need clean blood anyway. So the skin and the liver and the eyes and that do go together, and we work with that. Just about every single person comes in with a gut problem, either diarrhea, constipation, or not all okay. And that, I think, is the easiest thing to fix, because some oxygen, some flaxseed, some probiotic, and see what else is necessary. Dietary adjustments. I like the blood group because it works on consuming foods that are not inflammatory. Within days, a chronic constipation, the person starts going to the toilet. It starts breaking up. And then the migraines and the headaches stop. I've got clients in mind here that where all of this has happened, suddenly they don't have a headache anymore. And that's key and critical, because we're clearing. Weight's another thing. We don't really even talk about weight loss. We talk about detox, because most of the time there's toxins in the body, and that all the toxins are encased in a little oil capsule, and needs water to hold it there. So that's weight. So when we start removing the toxins, of course, the oil casing comes out, the water comes out, and the body thins down, the inflammation leaves, and the weight comes off. And psychologically, it's much better, because we're working with food that heals. People want to do that. It's not a diet or a denial. It's to live. So, that's very, very important as well. And got to get that blood thin, and we check it all on the live blood analysis too. And just on the blood as well, many people, especially in the cities with stress, are sitting with clots, microclots, thick blood. And that DMSO is fantastic. We call it the D-clot shot, at getting the blood's consistency, how it should be, normal. Normalizing it and giving the blood charge and separating the cells. You don't want clotting, because that can end up in something they call an embolism. So when I see that on the quantum machine, we start immediately with the DMSO, and also very high blood pressure. We've got protocols for that, and within 4 to 5 hours, the blood pressure is down significantly. And then we can manage the people like that. So one of the things is that I'm available. If there's a chronic situation, I'm available, and that's what's very important. People need that. And then the longevity and the stopping of the degeneration in an accelerated pace, to bring it back to sort of a normal. I can tell you also, many clients will come in and they're not recognizable. They've done so well. The arthritic clients who become alkaline, who can now walk, who can walk up and down the steps, and they come in straight, whereas before they were completely doubled over. The people who are tired and come in with loads of energy, good charged battery, you can see. And the process that we use, activates the stem cells naturally. Apart from our activa stem cell and the replica RNA, DNA that works on the genetics, and the medicinal mushrooms, the algae mixes, the pollen, the bee pollen mix, those products all stimulate adult stem cells, plant-based. They all stimulate adult stem cells. So here you're getting an automatic natural regeneration. Because when stem cells are formed and made and called, they will go and repair that liver for you, repair that thyroid, repair the gut lining. And that's what we want. So when we're living a life that's full of electromagnetic frequencies, radiation fog, plastics, insecticides, poisons, electricity, going to bed late, blue light from the screens, there's damage, and these products then come in and with effort on the client's part to make the lifestyle and the stress removal adjustments. Stress can be the form of an electrical cable, electrical plugs behind your bed. You're sleeping in an electrical field. So switching that line off at night, putting your feet on the ground twice a day, earthing, grounding, wearing a radiation pendant, using a radiation mat, we see the radiation levels coming down. And that is going to then rewire the body to and reactivate the stem cells, the longevity, and the slowing down of an accelerated degeneration process. So, and then, the evidence is brain clarity, concentration, focus, thinking clearly, living productively. That's my aim. Here, let's measure. Here are the tools. Let's think clearly, live productively in freedom. So though I've just given you a little bit of a glimpse of background to the testimonies and the case studies, which we're going to be exploring, between now and next Friday. And I look forward to you attending at the 365 Healthy by Choice Center next Friday. It'll be from 4 o'clock till 7 o'clock. And as you saw in the notification, and there'll be light refreshments, light snacks anyway. But the main thing is I don't know I haven't got the word right yet, but the Hall of Fame. And basically it's the testimonies of fame that we can keep building on, which I do build on. So on the website, I do have a place there that's called for testimonials. So I'm going to be uploading all of them. What I really urge you all to do is send me your testimonies, your personal testimony. Put your name there, obviously, but I won't be loading names. And I'll be able to read them out, and then you stand a chance to win some good products. And yes, and so we'll see you all next week. And I wish you a fantastic week and purification on every level. Thanks.